Princess Lira of the Zorathian Empire was a symbol of unity between humans and the alien Zorathians. Her mother, Queen Seraphina, was a human diplomat who had married the Zorathian emperor, forging an alliance between their species. Lira, with her human features and Zorathian bioluminescent markings, was a living testament to the peace that had lasted for decades. But peace is fragile. When the Zorathian capital was attacked by the ruthless Krylos, a warlike species bent on domination, Lira was captured. The Krylos saw her as a prize, a symbol of the alliance they sought to destroy. They planned to execute her publicly to demoralize both humans and Zorathians. Enter Captain Elias Drake, a human soldier renowned for his bravery and tactical genius. Elias had served in the Human-Zorathian alliance for years, earning the trust of both species. When he heard of Lira's capture, he volunteered for the rescue mission, despite the overwhelming odds. The mission was a success. Elias infiltrated the Krylos' stronghold, fought his way through their defenses, and found Lira in a dimly lit cell. Her bioluminescent markings were faint, a sign of her weakening spirit. "Princess Lira," Elias said, his voice steady. "I'm here to take you home." Lira looked up, her eyes filled with a mix of hope and disbelief. "Elias, you came for me." "Always," he replied, cutting her bonds with a plasma blade. "Let's get out of here." They fought their way back to the extraction point, Elias shielding Lira with his body as they dodged enemy fire. When they finally reached the safety of the Alliance ship, Lira collapsed into Elias's arms, tears streaming down her face. "You saved me," she whispered. "I made a promise," Elias said softly, "to protect you, no matter what." Chapter 2. The Betrayal. Back on the Zorathian capital planet, Lira was hailed as a hero. The people celebrated her return, and the Alliance leaders praised Elias for his bravery. But not everyone was pleased. In the shadows, a faction of Zorathian extremists had grown resentful of the human influence in their empire. They saw Lira as a symbol of their subjugation, a half-breed who diluted their pure Zorathian heritage. They plotted to eliminate her and sever the alliance with humanity. Elias, unaware of the growing conspiracy, continued to serve as Lira's personal guard. He spent his days by her side, ensuring her safety and growing closer to her in the process. Their bond deepened, and Lira began to see Elias as more than just a protector. One night, as they stood on the palace balcony overlooking the city, Lira turned to Elias. "Do you ever wonder what our lives would be like if we weren't bound by duty?" Elias hesitated, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "Sometimes, but duty is what brought us together. I wouldn't trade that for anything." Lira smiled, her bioluminescent markings glowing softly. "Neither would I," but their moment of peace was short-lived. The next day, Elias received orders to accompany Lira on a diplomatic mission to a remote Zorathian colony. The mission seemed routine, but Elias had a bad feeling. He voiced his concerns to Lira, but she assured him that everything would be fine. As their shuttle approached the colony, they were ambushed by a group of Zorathian extremists. The shuttle was shot down, crashing in the dense jungle below. Elias managed to pull Lira from the wreckage, but they were surrounded. "Stay behind me," Elias ordered, drawing his weapon. But before he could react, one of the extremists stepped forward, revealing himself to be a high-ranking Zorathian officer. "Captain Drake," the officer sneered, "you've served your purpose. Hand over the princess, and we'll let you live." Elias's eyes narrowed. "Over my dead body," the officer smirked. "As you wish." A fierce battle ensued. Elias fought valiantly, taking down several attackers, but he was outnumbered. As he struggled to protect Lira, he felt a sharp pain in his side. He looked down to see a blade protruding from his abdomen. "Elias, Lira screamed, rushing to his side. Elias fell to his knees, blood pooling around him. But it was too late. The extremists seized Lira, dragging her away as Elias collapsed, his vision fading to black. Chapter 3. The Abandonment. Elias awoke in a makeshift medical facility, his wounds bandaged but still throbbing with pain. He was alone, with no sign of Lira or the extremists. Desperation gripped him as he realized what had happened. He had failed her. Elias struggled to his feet, determined to find Lira and make things right. But as he ventured into the jungle, he was met with resistance at every turn. The extremists had left traps and ambushes, slowing his progress. Days turned into weeks as Elias searched for any trace of Lira. He encountered hostile wildlife, treacherous terrain, and the constant threat of extremists. His body weakened, but his resolve never wavered. Finally, he stumbled upon a hidden compound deep in the jungle. It was heavily guarded, but Elias knew he had found Lira. He devised a plan to infiltrate the compound, using his knowledge of Zorathian tactics to outsmart the guards. As he made his way through the compound, he found Lira in a cell, her bioluminescent markings dimmed almost to extinction. She looked up as he entered, her eyes filled with a mixture of relief and sorrow. "Elias, you came back," she whispered. "I told you I would," Elias replied, cutting her bonds. "Let's get out of here." But as they made their escape, they were confronted by the extremist leader. "You're too late, human," the leader sneered. "The princess is already dead to her people. They've disowned her, just as they will disown you." Elias's heart sank, but he refused to give up. He fought the leader with everything he had, eventually overpowering him. With the leader defeated, Elias and Lira made their way to the extraction point, where an alliance ship awaited them. Chapter 4. The Reckoning. Back on the Zorathian capital, the truth about the extremist plot was revealed. The alliance leaders were outraged, and the Zorathian emperor vowed to root out the traitors within his ranks. Lira was reinstated as a symbol of unity, and Elias was hailed as a hero once more. But the scars of their ordeal ran deep. Lira struggled with the betrayal of her own people, while Elias grappled with the guilt of failing to protect her. They leaned on each other for support, their bond stronger than ever. One evening, as they stood on the palace balcony, Lira turned to Elias. "Do you think we can ever truly move past this?" Elias took her hand, his grip firm. "We can't change the past, but we can shape the future. Together." Lira smiled, her bioluminescent markings glowing brightly once more. "Together." And so, the half-human princess and her human protector stood side by side, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Their journey had been fraught with danger and betrayal, but they had emerged stronger, united by a bond that transcended species and duty. In the end, they were more than just a princess and her protector. They were a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of unity and resilience in the face of adversity. And as they looked out over the city, they knew that their story was far from over. Together, they would continue to fight for a future where humans and Zorathians could coexist in peace, no matter the cost.